I wanted to just hop on and make a short statement because tweeting will never be able to say how I feel. First and foremost, I am heartbroken and devastated for the Fairfax children. I thought the statement put out by DeMatha High School, which is a high school that Justin attended, it's a Catholic high school here in this region, was a good one. That was the Justin we all knew. The guy full of hope and promise and gifts and possibilities for his future. All of that changed in 2019 when Justin was lieutenant governor. The second thing I want to say is Serena Fairfax, anyone who knew her knew she was an amazing woman. Kind, good, a great dentist, faithful to her patients and her community, and faithful and loyal to her husband at the most difficult and dark moment ever for their marriage and for their family when these allegations about Justin came out in 2019 when he was serving as Virginia's lieutenant governor. Serena didn't deserve her ending. Serena did not deserve what Justin did to her. Those of us who talked to Justin as late as Monday or Tuesday of this week or were in often contact with him knew that he was depressed, knew that he was in darkness, knew that he was dealing with everything he had lost, feeling that there was no hope. And all of us tried to encourage him to get help, to get back in the arena, to not give in, and to do something good through all of this, something he called the culture of cruelty. He wasn't able to turn that corner. But none of that justifies murdering his wife while their children slept in the home and leaving his children holding the bag in something that is unthinkable and unimaginable for someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s to handle, much less two teenagers who now don't have parents. I would ask those of you on social media to just stop with the ugliness, the vitriol, the name calling, the judgments, because you don't know this family and you don't know what was going on. What you know is the outcome, and it is tragic and horrible and something none of us that knew them ever thought was possible. I think if we're honest, some of us thought Justin could hurt himself because he was so depressed and down. Up until Tuesday of this week, one of the last things Justin said to me was, I need somebody to help me to prove my innocence. I can't get my life back until somebody stands up for me.
And this is a bigger issue. I'm glad this is being brought up. This is what women don't realize. The dark side of Me Too. So every time a woman accuses a man of something and you don't either send him to jail or you don't file a civil suit, you put other women in danger. Right? What am I saying? So basically, because you had two women, for all intents and purposes, put false allegations against Justin Fairfax, right? The wife had to suffer because this man's career was ended the day those allegations came out, and he could never get it back. He could never get back on track. He could never pivot. He could never rebound. And so the woman and the woman's kids had to pay for the sins of those two women that put those allegations on the man. See, women don't think that beyond with this Me Too shit. It's going to come back on women in some shape, form, or fashion. It may not be you per se, but your sister ain't going to pay for it. Okay? So be mindful that for everything you speak on against a man, there's a woman that's with that man that's going to have to pay for what you're saying. Especially if you don't go out your way to prove he did what you say he did. Okay, let's continue.
I had done so in a Washington Post piece in 2022, but I had done all I could do. Others should have stepped up. I think there's a bigger conversation for us to have about this, but not right now. I think we have to talk about men in depression. I think we have to talk about domestic violence. I think we have to talk about men in dealing with their emotions and what happens when they don't. I think there's a lot to talk about, but I don't think now is that time. I think the Fairfax children are what we all need to focus on. And they have two really good families in their mother's family.
Oh, this is Sophia Nelson. This is the one Obsidian kept going after. Oh, shit. This is her, y'all. Oh, damn. What are the odds of that? This is the woman that Obsidian kept harassing. Not the one that took him to court, but Sophia A. Nelson initially, when they first went at it. This is the one that Obsidian used to be obsessing over. Sophia A. Nelson. Wow. That's her, y'all. Holy cow.
And their father's family, who will get them through this and who will love them and care about them. And that's what I care about. I'm angry at Justin. I'm in shock. I'm appalled. I don't know what to say. I keep asking, what more could I have done? How did I not see this coming? We're all asking ourselves that. We're never going to get an answer.
Well, once again, when you make it so easy for society to just allow women to make blatant statements about eating everybody 30 years in the past and not have no punishment or a vetting process to say, hey, where's your proof? Yeah, this is going to continue to happen. Mental illness, therapy can't fix this shit. How does therapy fix a man that lives in a society where women are allowed to accuse a man for something he may have did or didn't do 30 to 40 years prior? How do you therapy that away? You can't. Now, let me get to the old head. The old head said something. I was just like, wow, that was where he was stuck at, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Roland. Justin was in our same fraternity, Sigma Pi Phi. He was a political friend. The Justin
all right, it's the lodge business, Sigma Pi Phi. That's the big dog of the Divine Nine, right? So, what good is a brotherhood if you can't help your brother out? I don't understand. Between Sigma Pi Phi and Alpha Phi Alpha, because he was a member of both of them, both of these organizations failed to help this man. You mean to tell me that y'all couldn't pull y'all's resources together and get this man back on his feet? This is why I tell you, stop wasting your time going to fraternities, black fraternities. Stop wasting your time with Prince Hall Masonry. No. Go and shoot for the top dog spot. Bypass all the black stuff. I've been saying this. Why would I waste my time with middlemen? I need to get there. You can't help me get there. Or you're going to prevent me from getting. Let me go and deal with them directly. Let me stop wasting my time. Sigma Pi Phi nor A Phi A could help this man. The man couldn't get clients. Nobody would hire him. Do you understand? Nobody would hire him. Where's the brotherhood to come through in a pinch when you need them? Well, shit, I might as well go ahead and deal with the white folk. White folk will throw me a bone every blue moon. Oh, okay, come on.
I knew was a fighter. He came to me professionally for what Roland you just said was to find vindication, his due process. When I say he was a fighter because he wanted to sue the two women in the middle of this Me Too movement because he had lost everything that you all have talked about. We weren't retained. I wasn't retained for that lawsuit. Can't remember whether he ever filed that lawsuit, but he was a fighter, but it was a deeply seated loss for him. You know, men, and there's a question coming, men evaluate themselves all the time on the external. We provide, we profess, we protect with our families. We're judged on money, job success, so forth and so on. But the one part I'd love to hear your comments on from both doctors is, it's for me to get to you and to say, this is going to help me, right? I've got to be convinced as a man that you can help me. When men say, I don't need to go to counseling, I'm not going to counseling, it's because that's not going to get me a job. That's not going to pay my bills. That's not going to get me my family back. That's not going to do anything that I need to fight my way out of this craziness that's put me in a depression. I've got to be sold on that this is going to help me in those 5 areas, because if that doesn't help me in these 5 areas and I'm just talking and you're going to give me some coping mechanisms, that's all well and good. But if I'm a high achiever, right, then I'm looking for solutions, because men are about solving problems. Justin was a lawyer, so he was about, his core was, I got to solve these problems. How to get my political life back, my family life. I got to have a job. I got to pay bills.
Once again, the sad case of Justin Fairfax shows how either inept black frats and black the Prince Halls are. They either inept or they chose to turn their backs on this man for whatever reason and let them sacrifice him to the wolves. So either black frats and Prince Halls are either inept or they all chose to turn their backs on their brother. Black Brotherhood is a crazy concept because I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like. And if there is a Black Brotherhood, I don't think I want to be a part of it. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. No, thank you.